All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to I'll name this segment later. GTG spits that grease, so on and so forth. Title forever in the works. I'm gonna skip past the more jovial intro that I usually give because I'm on a bit of a time crunch. Let's actually get to the task at hand. The title hasn't given me away yet. We're gonna be talking about the situation that's gone on over the past 24, 48 hours, give or take, with Raw Phil being deplatformed from YouTube and having his stream pulled down from Kick. He's not deplatformed from Kick, he's just had the stream pulled down. And he's now reassessing himself on Twitch and Rumble, I believe. DSP has, in his own way, has cleared the board. And so the parameters need to be reassessed, and the game has changed overall. DSP is not ready for what's about to come next. He's going to have to deal with it either which way, but he's not ready for what's going to come next. Now, I had a chance to speak to some very insightful people yesterday, big ups to all of them, and one had said that they want DSP to stream forever. They want him to not know a moment's rest. I can agree with that. Very much so. So I want that as well. But I think a lot of us do. I don't think anybody really wants DSP's downfall. They want to see him crumble to dust. I think that's fitting for a coward. And that's exactly what DSP is, a coward. And don't ever, ever, ever think otherwise. With that being said, let's actually talk about what the situation at hand is. So, DSP makes a bunch of threats earlier in the week, Monday and Tuesday. I'm recording this currently on Friday the 10th because I was supposed to record this Thursday night, and I decided to play video games on there. So didn't do that. But DSP basically was ranting and raving about the whole chat freezing, also threw threats at Raw Phil, also broke TOS by inciting harassment. We'll get back to all that. On DSP's day off on Wednesday, Raw Phil ends up getting his YouTube channel pulled, and Thursday, DSP addresses the situation and basically says, I have nothing to do with the situation. Then he said, I'm not involved in the situation. Then he says, I did what I had to do to protect my business. Then he says he doesn't want anything else to do with it. Okay.
So anyway, so that is happening yesterday, okay? And now I got people reaching out to me and they're like, so did you do it? And how is this gonna fit? And I'm like, I have nothing to do with any of this. Really, nothing, zero. Just leave me alone. Like, that's basically, I'm just telling everyone, leave me alone. I'm on my day off. I don't want to fucking bother with your dumb shit. I'm busy. I have a real life. You know, I've been out all day with my wife, and now we're home, and I just want to relax for a few hours. Fuck this. I don't care about this internet drama bullshit. I never did. Leave me the fuck alone. Okay? And that's kind of where I left it. I just told everyone, fuck off. I don't want to deal with this shit. All right? So that's that. All right? So that's it. That's all I know. That's the extent of what I know about the situation. Okay, I don't even know the actual situation of how Raw Phil got banned. I don't know if it was a copyright takedown. I don't know if it was a terms of service violation. I don't know. I don't do anything. I didn't do anything.
That's cute. So let's go ahead and actually address the situation. So there's a guy out there, Buccaneer or something along those lines. I don't actually have his name in front of me. Nothing against him. I just don't have it in front of me. Who basically found an exploit where he could mess with people's chats who have very little or very low chat engagement. Suck to suck, Phil. In any case, apparently the same individual had showed up into Raw Phil's chat a couple of times. One of the stories that I've been privy to is that they may have actually been trying to use this exploit against Raw Phil. I guess it was all shit and giggles, not sure. But in any case, it didn't work because, you know, there are actually people in Raw Phil's chat who actually talk. So, you know, unlike Snort Korea, there's still freedom of speech in some parts of the world. And so it didn't work over there. And I guess he may have actually gone over there to talk to some of the other people too. I can't confirm or deny any of that. In any case, DSP catches word of this, uses this as pretense against Raw Phil, and then says that, then makes a big huff about needing to reach out to someone at YouTube, hoping other bigger content creators who he tried to fearmonger and to say that they could be at risk as well, despite the fact that they didn't have the disadvantages that DSP has, so they really had nothing to worry about. DSP tried to do a call to action, eventually gets a hold of someone at YouTube, and he allegedly tells YouTube about the chat fix, and then they fix it. Allegedly. A day or two later, Raw Phil gets taken down. Now, I am of the theory, it's only a theory, it's not a Theo theory, because if it was, it'd be good, but DSP didn't actually get Raw Phil taken down on Wednesday. He reported him more than likely on Monday or Tuesday, when he initially was throwing his threats out. It didn't take action until Wednesday. This takes a couple of days, in my personal opinion. You'd be surprised. Everything goes, depending on the size of the channel and how much influence you have. The quartering is a perfect example of that. We're going to rotate back to Quarter Pounder in a minute, because he's actually very much involved in this situation. More ways than I would have thought. In any case, so DSP basically gets a hold of someone at YouTube, and basically, according to what he said yesterday, he says that he reported the exploit and reported Buccaneer, but he didn't. What he actually did was he reported the situation, blamed it on Raw Phil as if he was encouraging it, or even if he was doing it himself, and had him taken down. Why do I think this? Well, a couple of reasons. One, if you listen to DSP's explanation, it doesn't sound right. It sounds like he's conflating the two situations between the restreaming and the whole manipulation of his chat. That's what DSP's trying to do. He's trying to conflate the situation. He's trying to confuse you and make it seem like, oh, I reported the chat manipulation, blame that on Buccaneer, and Raw Phil got caught up in the dragnet because what he was doing was breaking TOS. That's actually not true. If that was the case, YouTube would have gone after Raw Phil way sooner. What DSP did is he blamed both, he put them both together as the same entity, and then reported it.
Like I said, much later in the day, much later in the day, probably early evening, finally I'm coming home, and I'm sitting down, and I'm like, okay, now maybe I can figure out what the hell was wrong with this guy. Why did he do this? Like, there must have been a reason why King Ferbs would have done that on the day off, right? So all of a sudden I open up my email, and I open up my ex DMs. Dude, I got blown the fuck up. Like, literally, I've been completely blown up. I got a million emails. I got DMs out the ass. I'm like, what happened today? And why is it always on my day off? I've said this a million times. Whenever I'm not here, that's when everything happens. It's never when I'm here. Nothing happens live. It's always when I'm busy. And I can't handle anything because I'm not here, right? So come to find out, while I had my day off and was completely unplugged from anything going on the internet, my major illegal restreamer, who goes by Raw Phil, apparently got terminated on YouTube. So the entire internet's going crazy about this. They're angry, they're upset, they're shocked, they're happy. It's like everyone has a different reaction to it, okay? So, for the record, I'm going to say this right up front. No, I have no direct involvement with any of this shit whatsoever. I have nothing to do with it. That doesn't mean that possibly things that happened earlier in the week did not roll into this. Because, just so you know, several people have contacted me claiming they've been mass reporting Raw Phil. Now, I don't know if they're telling the truth or not, or if they're making it up. I don't even know who these people are. But they've been DMing me being like, hey, just so you know, I reported this guy because I've had enough after what happened with your chat freezing, and this is bullshit, and enough of this guy. So, I don't know if that's what resulted in him getting banned or not. I don't know if it was actually when I talked to YouTube about this Bucketeer guy earlier in the week, because I gave them all the information. I gave them all his information, his YouTube channel. I gave them the Raw Phil chat. I said, this is from this channel. This is my restreamer. This is the chat where the guy was talking, admitting publicly that he was freezing my chat. I gave them all that info. So YouTube already had that info from earlier in the week. Maybe that's how this all came to be. I don't know. Or maybe when all the Bucketeer stuff was going on, people really did mass report the Raw Phil channel. They just had enough. I don't know. Once again, here we are. There's a shitstorm of stuff going on around me. Okay? But it's not me. You know what I'm saying? It's never me. It's all the shit is always around my existence. Me just simply sitting here broadcasting somehow creates a giant vortex of hurricane drama, but I'm not involved in it. I literally didn't do it. I'm just fucking living my life, man. Okay? So again, don't know the core reason of how this happened. But I got people reaching out to me who I never even expected would reach out to me. And some of them are like, this is bad. Some of them are like, this is really good. And I'm
that way, because at the end of the day, YouTube's main priority is anything that fucks with their system. not the individual channels per se, just the system. That's what the actual problem was, and that's what was quote unquote addressed. DSP was fortunate enough, either by hook or by crook, to convince them that Raw Phil and Buccaneer were either the same person or they were linked together, and that's why he ended up getting dropped. At least that's just my theory. I don't have any proof of that. The way DSP explains it, that's what it sounds like though. With that being said, DSP was basically able to take out two birds with one stone. Here's the problem with that. We know, I think it's fair to say that Buccaneer actually wasn't reported because his channel's still up, as far as I know. The videos that he put out there taunting DSP are still up, as far as I know. So nothing happened to him, only Raw Phil went down. Now, for DSP, most of you are thinking, well, wait a second, if he's gonna lump all of them together, why not lump in Duty? Why not lump in, you know what I'm saying, Tevin? Why not lump in all these people? For one, DSP probably did put all their names down. We're all probably on his little snitch list. The reality is, is YouTube is going to prioritize what they think is actually an offensible act and what isn't. And to be honest, the rest of us are really not part of that net. We're not really a priority. So with that being said, it's easier for DSP to go ahead and frame it like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. I did everything correct. I did what I could to protect myself, and hope that either the rest of us fade out, which he knows is not going to happen, or people are forced to go to his channel to grab their clips and all of that so he can get his minuscule mittens or pittance, if you will, of ad revenue off of whatever it is that he thinks he's going to grab. He's basically thinking he can try to starve us out. Here's the problem. Raw Phil was not a deterrent, but he was certainly a barrier for the horde that was being held back. Now, there's no reason to say that any person who makes content on DSP doesn't go ahead and just open up a second YouTube channel, and if worst comes to worst, they may restream for a day or two.
Here's my opinion, okay? Here's the absolute truth. I don't fucking care. I just want to stream and make my own content and be left the fuck alone. And people won't leave me alone. If you would just leave me alone, then probably you'd also be left alone. Did you ever think about that? Like, if you just stopped fucking with me, maybe you'd be okay too. But all this came about because some moron starts freezing my stream chat. Why did you fuck with me? So obviously I need to work, right? I need to be able to make content. So I can't do the content if you're freezing my stream chat. I'm going to have to try to find a means to fix it. So if anything happens as a result, I mean, why did you start fucking with me? You know, I just leave me alone. Just let me sit here and make my content in my little corner of the internet with my positive audience and stop fucking with us, right? That's all you got to do. It's not like rocket science. That being said, okay, all these people are reaching out, and now it makes sense, okay? Now I'm realizing this is why King Ferbs must have actually jumped off the deep end during the day, because I've heard people contact me and tell me everything, even though I don't ask for the information. They're telling me, hey, did you know King Ferbs has been seen in this Raw Phil guy's chat and he's talking shit about you constantly? And I'm like, I've heard this about 1 million people that like me, don't like me, my moderators, my supporters. I don't fucking care. Just leave me alone. Really, I just want to live my life and stream. Just leave me alone, right? So I think that's what it is he was constantly over there or whatever. He liked hanging out over there. And the fact that the stream essentially got shut down, or the channel got shut down, pissed off King Ferbs, so he decides, I'm just going to fuck with Phil's chat now and I'm going to unban everybody. All right? So King Ferbs is gone, for the record. All right? No, I have not rebanned all the accounts. I could have. It probably would have taken me like an hour. I don't fucking care that much. If I see people who are misbehaving in the kick chat, I'm just going to ban them. And the moderators have permission. I know that Be More Righteous is there and anyone else. If people are completely spamming the chat, if they're breaking the rules or whatever, you can get rid of them. All right? But I'm not going to actively hunt people in chat and be like, you were banned before, now I'm going to reban you. I don't fucking care. Okay? I don't. Plus, let's be honest, the kick chat is always rowdy, and I get paid for kick chat. So I don't really care. All right? Go for it. Be stupid. Just don't violate the rules. Don't do things that are going to get you terminated. Like, no racist stuff, no bullshit, no personal insults about my family members, stuff like that. I don't care if you're angry. What can I do about it? You were already banned, and I'm not going to sit here and waste my time rebanning you all. Okay? Like that guy. He says, Phil pees like a woman. That's absolutely unacceptable, but I'll probably let that fly today. There you go. See, this one insulting my wife, that's not allowed, and now you're banned. Do you see the difference? There's the difference. If you say I have a milty face, that's okay. But if you insult a family member, you're done. Okay? Fair enough. Okay.
Until Raw Phil gets back in the pocket, just for the shits and giggles of it. Once the stream is over, they go ahead and just private the stream or unlist it and then edit it up or cut out some of the dead air parts and then put it up, and that makes it transformative. Or anybody who's wanting to get into the game and become a player on the board, now they have carte blanche to do it. They're not offending Raw Phil or anybody else. There's a vacuum that needs to be filled, and they want to, no pun intended, and now they want to go ahead and step into play. He's really fucked up in a way that, I think DSP is fucked up in a way that he doesn't even realize yet, because he's emotional. And on top of that, he's never really demonstrated any forethought. It's interesting, right? Run with me on this. Don't worry, no restaurant analogy. But it is going to be a food analogy, though. I need something that DSP can somehow apply himself to. DSP is the quintessential definition of always looking for a free lunch. But he never wants anybody to teach him anything. So like, instead of all these people out here over the years who've wanted to help him for God knows what reason, wanted to help him to get better at his content, he instead rather be carried. So let's say it another way. Instead of having people who are willing to teach you how to fish, teach you how to hunt, teach you how to trap, teach you how to be self-efficient or self-sufficient, he would rather just be catered to. And then gets upset when they choose not to do it, or they help him for a little while and then they leave him. That's one of the reasons why he has abandonment issues. He didn't realize, or he will, but he doesn't realize that with Raw Phil temporarily, because Raw Phil's is not off the board. He's still very much in play. But Raw Phil being removed from YouTube, I'm hoping it's only temporary, has now changed the situation in a way where you had someone who had a restream up. They didn't insert themselves into it. All they did is let the stream go, let the chat go, and it was a refuge, if you will, for dents, basically. And then for just regular people who just didn't want to watch DSP and weren't interested in a restreamer that day. Now, now anybody can literally jump in, saying whatever wild ass shit or doing whatever wild ass shit, and DSP can't chase all them around because there's too many of them. On top of the fact that they'll be so scattered, and there's such small channels that even if he did take a few of them down in a day, they'd be right back up tomorrow. In the exact same way that Wings of Redemption tried to do with his troll community. Wings blocks one channel or takes down one channel, no big deal. There's another one up to next day. Nothing changes. DSP was fortunate not to have that. By having established names, by having established brands and whatnot, those were the main focus. And those were basically, and that's how the establishment worked. Everybody understood who the players were, where to find them, and what were the, I guess, standards of each respected entity, if you will, or business, if you will. Let's go and use DSP's fucking vernacular or some silly ass shit. Now that that's kind of been disrupted, that's all it is, been disrupted. Now anybody can come in and do whatever they want, and DSP really can't stop it. Now, any of these people can go ahead and build a following for themselves, and they'll more than likely stick around for the long haul. On top of that, the DSP's displacement, if you will, has now opened up to all these other websites. Initially, it's always been YouTube, Twitch, Kick. Usually those three are the trifecta. Obviously, you have Twitter/X, you got Rumble, you know what I'm saying? You got TikTok, you got Twitch, you got TikTok, you got Instagram sometimes. He shows up in some of these places, interestingly enough. But essentially, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Now, and most people archive their stuff on Odyssey, for example. Well, now, and BitChute, now I think about it. Now, Rumble's back is in play. Which, you know, I have a Rumble account, but I never thought about using it. But after what happened with the situation on Kick, which, and interestingly enough, I was in a Discord with a few fellows, big ups to all of them, and I was hoping that Raw Phil would hit 1,000, which he did. He hit 1,000, hit over 1,000, it hit like 1,013. And then this warning came up. Now, I've seen a lot of wild ass shit on Kick. I've seen crazy ass shit. I've seen women get their backs blown out on fucking Kick and whatnot. Well, I've seen that on Twitch too, now that I think about it. Anyway, I've seen wild ass shit on Kick, and I've never seen this warning pop up. Warning comes up saying, I'm gonna paraphrase, basically, we're giving you a warning, such and such, you can't do this, such and such, such and such. Never seen that before. At all. Ever. Ever. And so the fact that that showed up, I initially just laughed it off. Like, what the fuck is that? Oh, well, it's no big deal. Next, maybe 5 minutes later, the stream goes down. On Kick. On Kick of all places. Kick decided to throw away 1,000 views and all of those memberships or subs, however they categorize that over there, over this piece of shit that you see on your screen who barely had 200? Who can barely break 100 on a bet on a good day? That's what they tossed? Okay. All right. Like I said, they didn't actually take down Raw Phil's channel. They just took down that stream. Or they ordered him to take it down. Whatever. So Kick is obviously not going to be viable for a direct restream type situation. Which is funny because there are plenty of guys on Kick who restream each other and react to each other. And there's never been a... Semantics. In any case, so now people are going over to Rumble, people are going over to some of these other platforms, so now DSP is going to get exposure and on platforms that he can't do anything about, and more than likely will bring in a demographic of people that he himself is not comfortable with. With the current establishment, DSP has something that he doesn't really have in his life.
Right? What it is people want to think that, like, I'm like some weird supervillain orchestrator of shit. I'm not. I'm just a normal dude. As much as you don't want to believe that, I'm just a normal guy just trying to live my life, and you won't leave me alone. Like, it is, I have no evidence of this, okay? But it is very possible, very, very possible, that all this resulted from the chat freezing and me having to contact YouTube about it. Really, that could be where this all originated from. And if that's the case, well, why did you fuck with my chat? What? Again, you know, people think it's funny. Oh, ha ha. No, it's not funny. I have to live. There's a difference between we make some defamatory content about Phil that's bullshit and we put videos up about him or whatever. Fuck it. You know, one day, if I get really upset and I seek legal recourse for that and I get a lawyer and I say, hey, that's defamation, I have the right to do that. I'm just telling you, I'm probably never going to. It's never say never, but it's probably a never. Like, it's not worth my time to try to take down each individual stupid detractor who says nasty things about me on the fucking internet. Who cares, right? I'm already a small-time guy. I'm not like I'm going to blow up overnight because these guys are gone or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just a waste of time, right? But I'm not, you know, when it comes to this other stuff, if you're actually hurting my livelihood, what do you think's going to happen? Do you think I'm going to let that slide? I can't. I have to make a living. I have to be able to provide for my family. So if you're freezing my fucking stream chat and I can't work, that's not good. It's like I told you guys, as long as I have the ability to make money and do what I love and make a living, I'm happy, right? So as long as I'm happy, you don't have to worry about anything like this, because why would I care? But if you fuck with me and now I have to take means, like I had to reach out to YouTube, I had to get their attention and say, I need this chat fixed. What it results in, it fucking results in. And that's on you, not on fucking me. I was being minding my own business. I want nothing to do with this shit, and you're fucking with me. Why? Don't you think maybe you should wise up? Because here's the truth. When you give an inch, they take a mile, right? Because there's so many people who make this defamatory content about me on the internet, they go further, and then they go further, and then they go further, until the point where now you're actually doing illegal things. You're actually breaking the law. You're actually hurting me and my business. It's not just my reputation. It's my actual income, and it's your fault that this is being hurt. So now you've gone too far, and I have to take an action. And definitely the Bucketeer thing was something I had to take an action about. I had to. I couldn't have no fucking stream chat.
Which is weird that me saying this, that this is what detractors provide him with. But stability. When DSP logs in to his fucking pathetic ass life, because that's what this is, DSP knows exactly what to expect. He understands what Raw Phil's gonna do. He understands what fucking Duty's gonna do. He understands what That Being Said is gonna do. Name your favorite detractor's favorite detractor, and he has an understanding of what's going on. He doesn't have to worry about any surprises or curveballs or anything. That has changed. And with the onset of moving over or migrating to other sites, that brings in a whole new demographic. If he thought all of us are fucking mentally ill and crazy and all this before, who knows what he might drum up now? Who knows who might watch a stream of Raw Phil on Rumble, for example, right? And be like, you know what? That guy's a real piece of shit. You know what? Maybe someone needs to actually go to his home. You know what? Maybe someone needs to organize a protest in front of his house. I'm not giving anybody any ideas. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? It could easily go that route. All because of this one instance, because DSP got emotional and he thought, oh, well, I can go ahead and get him off the board and then it'll cause the rest of them to get starved out, or they're going to have to learn to bow down to the king on some bullshit. And instead, your kingdom has gotten a whole lot smaller, and it's going to get a whole lot more uncomfortable, because without stability, that's when the paranoia ramps up even more, because there's uncertainty. There's a fear that's driving in. Matter of fact, in this very stream, as DSP's talking and giving his bullshit about what happened and how he's really not at fault, you can see the fear creep in, like, oh shit, I've really fucked up. Oh shit, there's not people rallying towards me. Oh shit, the money buff ain't coming in to make me feel better. Oh shit, there might actually be repercussions behind this. It's gonna be a long weekend, Phil. It's gonna be a long weekend. Depending on how that plays out will depend on how the next few months go. And even if Raw Phil doesn't come back to YouTube, let's say the channel comes back, but he chooses not to stream there anymore, you've turned that guy into a martyr. Going after editors, clippers, or commentator channels, that's one thing. You know, that's one thing, because you get your little fifis hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because your cat's declawed, your wife's fat, your parents are dying, and you're waiting for all that nonsense to happen. You look like a fucking ghoul on your Ozempic or whatever weight medication that you're on that's slowly but surely fucking driving you into the ground. But to go after a restreamer, person who's never actually articulated a point about you whatsoever, they just give people a median. They filled a notch or a niche in the market that the market needed. You sit there and ban people on the regular. They provided a refuge, a place where they could go and actually have freedom of speech, who could actually talk to people about whatever they want instead of your dumbass. The very community, sorry, there's a lot of people around here who don't like the word community, but a community where people can actually interact with themselves instead of being just fucking slaves and serfs to a fucking addict who's dying, basically.
See what I'm saying? You give an inch, they take a mile. It all started innocent. But now here we are in 2026, and people think, oh, it's fine. It's just trolling if I freeze Phil's stream chat constantly and he can't work. No, it's not. It's illegal. You can't do that. You can't abuse YouTube system. You can't fuck with my business. You're breaking the law. Therefore, I have to take action. And that's it. It's that simple. And now I have absolutely no idea what's really going on in this situation with Raw Phil or anyone else. I don't know if anyone else is being affected. It's not me. I did one action that I had to do to keep stuff going, and that's all. That's it. That's the end of it. So if anything else happens, listen, obviously it's not something that I'm actively involved in, but hey, it got out of control. What do you want me to do? I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here streaming, dude. That's it. I know people wanted me to come on this stream today and be like, I destroyed everyone and I'm the king. That's very much not the case. I'm just a normal guy. I just want to stream and make a living. That's it. So leave me alone. You can do your little videos over here, make fun of me or this and that. But the moment that you fuck with me and my ability to make a living, that's where the line gets drawn. Do you see what I'm saying? That's it. I have to take action when you're hurting me. So just don't hurt me. Fuck with me, make fun of me. Okay. Tease me, rap me. And you know what? The funny part is, as much as I disagree with Kiwi Farms, that was supposedly Josh Moon's mentality all along, right? You can laugh at the people and their antics, but don't actually mess with them, right? Don't actually mess with their lives, but you can laugh at the bad things they're doing. I'm okay with that. You want to sit here and say, my streams suck, my content sucks, my gameplay sucks, my attitude sucks, my wardrobe sucks, my face is melty, I'm on Ozempic, all this bullshit, right? It's all bullshit. I mean, okay, my face is melty, but I'm not on Ozempic, okay? And yes, my wardrobe sucks. But stop that right now, all right? That's not what we're talking about. What I'm saying is that's all fine. That's all allowed. There's nothing wrong with that. It's called being self-aware, being silly, right? but don't fuck with my income. If you do, then I have to do something about it. And again, that was the last thing I wanted to do. Do you think I wanted to have 2 weeks where everything was a fucking pain in my ass, and then I had to reach out to YouTube and bother to talk to them about all that? No! That's the last thing I want to do. I just want to make content. So all you need to do is leave me the fuck alone, and then you'll be left alone for your own devices. Go post up on Kiwi Farms. Go fucking make videos about me. Do your bullshit. Just leave me out of it. Like, literally just leave me the fuck out of it. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's not, again, it's not rocket science, but it's like people don't have any self-control, particularly on the internet, because on the internet, people think everything's safe. I'm anonymous. Everything's safe. Everything's fine. It's not. There's rules in place. Just because people don't enforce said rules all the time doesn't mean that the rules won't actually eventually be enforced. And in this case, what it sounds to me is happening is stuff that could have happened many years ago, but I never took action. Well, people are now taking action. It's not me, but people are still taking the actions. So I don't know what else to say. I really have nothing else to say on it. In my opinion, we're business as usual. I'm going to play games today. We're going to chill later on the stream, hang out and grade my games, my retro games. Me and my audience are going to have a great time and just relax. And that's it. I want nothing to do with anything else. I want no drama. I want no nonsense. You're not going to see me here standing here. People thought I was going to come on stream and glow and everything today. No. In fact, I don't even want to be involved. Just fucking leave me alone, shut up about it, and let's just move on with our lives. All right? Seriously. I want nothing to do with your crap. Okay? And see, you crossed the line. What line did I cross? That I tweeted YouTube on X and said, hey, a guy's freezing my stream chat. Here's the information. What are you talking about? What did I do there that was out of line? I couldn't chat in my own fucking chat because someone was breaking the system. What did I do wrong? Just answer that. What did I do wrong about getting my own stream chat unfroze? Explain. Let's hear a rational explanation of what I did wrong, because there is none.
So now that you've gotten rid of that, or you've disrupted that, now we have a whole lot more problems into play. But let's step away from that for a second. Let's get on to DSP's explanation and whatnot, which I've actually already covered. He's basically said, I went ahead and attacked the person who messed with my chat, and Raw Phil was a consequence. He theoretically is actually trying to make it seem like Raw Phil was collateral damage. Because, oh, this guy was over there talking in Raw Phil's chat, so that automatically makes him involved. That's weird. That's weird to me, actually. Let's talk about that. Because according to DSP, you can't blame him for him having pedophiles, which he does, having pedophiles in his chat, because that has nothing to do with him. Because whatever pedophilic acts they do is off of his streams, despite the fact that he knows that these people are there and are around. Matter of fact, one of the greater, it's hard to say greater pedophile, one of his biggest pedophiles, Derek, he knew about that for years and actually used it as an excuse. Just because he's in my chat doesn't mean that I'm responsible for him. Okay, that's what he tried to say. But then you're gonna hold Dark Dave, or big ups to Dark Dave Mears, we'll get back to him in a minute, but you want to hold Raw Phil responsible for this guy Buccaneer being in his chat. But that's weird, because DSP says explicitly on his day off that 3 or 4 people slide into his DMs on Twitter, people he don't know. So how are they going to send you DMs on Twitter, Phil, when you don't know them? Because you not knowing them would imply that they're not following you and you're not following them. But they were able to slide DMs to you. Semantics. Supposedly 3 or 4 people send him messages, DMs, saying, yeah, we flagged Raw Phil.
We've got Demonic Abyss with a $5 super chat. He says, YouTube probably watched your video while investigating the chat exploit and saw that the channel was violating terms of service. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Could be. Absolutely could be. Like I said, I have 3 separate different people who DM'd me on X while I was off yesterday. I don't know who they are. They're like, just so you know, we reported Raw Phil. That's why his channel's gone. They all took credit for it. Now, could it have been one of those people? It could have been. Could it have been all of those people? It could have been. I don't know. But I guess people were pissed about what had happened with my chat and everything. And when I'm not here, they take action. What can I do? I can't stop people from doing that. I don't want them to. I've already said a zillion times, I don't want people white knighting and doing shit. Like, at least in this case, it sounds like if anything was done, it wasn't done in my name, right? Like, no one was saying, oh, Phil wants this. No, they did it out of their own a court or whatever, I can't stop people from doing that. I have no involvement in it, so what do you want me to do exactly? Okay? All right, Game Ticker, thank you for a €5 super chat. He said, congratulations on striking back in a meaningful way for the first time. Did you consider the consequences? Yes, I considered the consequences of getting my chat unfrozen. It was calling, what's his name? Bucketeer, a limp dick loser, which he is. He's a waste of life. He's never had any positive impact on anything on this planet. He just sits on the internet trying to troll people and extort them for money, and he can kiss my fucking ass. That's the extent of my involvement. So, yes, I did absolutely, positively, 100% understand that I was going to be able to say that and do that. And that's it. Anything else that happens, I'm not involved in. All right? So, fuck Bucketeer. Really, fuck him. I'm glad he's gone. Erased. And now we move on. Period.
Just to let you know. Well, by your own definition, doesn't that make you complicit to that situation? Doesn't that mean you didn't do anything to stop it? So basically, you were aiding and abetting. Matter of fact, it's interesting how you don't know any of these people in air quotes. So you know, according to what DSP said, he knows of 3 or 4 people who flagged Raw Phil. They sent him messages. That means he knows their names. But he don't know them though. But he knows their names though, because they sent him DMs, of course. And they went ahead and flagged this guy. But he's not willing to say their names though. He's not willing to drop their DMs saying all these things. But he knows that they flagged, which was breaking the TOS, by the way. They broke TOS by flagging on DSP's behalf. And he's aiding and abetting because he's not telling us who those people are. He just wants to sit there and say, oh, I don't have anything to do with it. But you do. They went to you and told you. They went into your DMs and told you they did this thing, and you didn't do anything to stop them. Did you say in those messages, hey, don't do that? Or, hey, I don't want you doing this? No, you didn't. Then he tries to go ahead and pivot and say, well, if I was the one who went after him, because DSP is denying that he did that, even though he admitted that he did. But even if I was the one who did this to Raw Phil, have him go ahead and show the flag, show his notice from YouTube. But there is no notice. DSP knows that. DSP knows the way he flagged him, or the way he reported him, there wouldn't be one. Well, that's weird, Phil, because why would you ask for some type of notification to prove that he was flagged if you had nothing to do with it? And you know what it's like to report people, and you know the different ways of doing so. You've admitted multiple times that you've tried to flag Raw Phil, as well as others. So you knew there wouldn't be a paper trail. You knew there wouldn't be anything aside to that. And then, even more interestingly, in this Discord with all these cool fellas, big ups to all of them, one of them pointed out something to me that I hadn't thought of. I didn't even know that DSP did this. While DSP was trying to get back in bed with Kino Casino, he was also talking to the quartering. So I had asked them, or I theorized briefly, was it possible that DSP was trying to set up Kino Casino? And they didn't really think so. And their reasoning makes some sense. But because I'm a bit of a rabid dog on this shit, I'm gonna hold it for a minute. I'm gonna still fight this for a bit. So DSP, while trying to, behind the scenes, talk to Kino Casino when the quartering was going after them, he's also talking to the quartering. Well, that's weird. What are you talking to the quartering about? Are you talking to the quartering about how they flagged Kino Casino? And because allegedly that's the information that DSP was going to run the Kino Casino with. He was going to tell them how the quartering was actually flagging them. But here's my question. Would DSP have taken that same information from the quartering, if the quartering spoke to him? Would he have taken that same information that the quartering gave to him and used that against Kino Casino? Would he have used that against Raw Phil? Would he use that against Duty? Would he use that against anybody?
What I compare this to is years ago, all right, my detractors were all getting hit with false copyright strikes. And they were false copyright strikes. They weren't real. But somehow they were all coming through my name, but not through my YouTube account. And then my detractors were angry at me. I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do about it? I'm not putting them in. I can't get them removed. I even went out of my way. I contacted YouTube support and said, someone's impersonating me. I don't know who it is, but all these things are going out in my name and they're not mine. What do I do? And they said, nothing. is it's our system, not yours. It's not your channel being affected. These aren't tied to your channel. There's literally nothing you can do to fix it. These people getting hit by the false strikes need to contact us individually, and they essentially need to like lawyer up or whatever if they think there's an issue, but you're not involved. I'm like, all right, if that's what you say, and I documented it and I've saved that conversation, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do? I'm not involved in any of this shit. I don't ever want to be involved in any of your drama, ever. I just want to stream games, have hangout sessions with my audience, have a good time, period. Right? Ethan Payor did a $2 super chat. He says, show us your flagging history. You mean my flagging history on YouTube? Are you that stupid? If this was me flagging, you would see my name attached to whatever took down Raw Phil. Did you see that? I don't even know. I wasn't here yesterday. Like I said, I don't even know what took him down. I don't have to prove my innocence. You have to provide evidence of guilt. So show the evidence that I'm involved. Go for it. Again, I might actually be indirectly involved. I very well may be. From all the stuff that happened earlier this week, okay? I don't know. Okay, so thanks for $2.
For all we know, this is a test run on DSP's part. Yeah, he used Buccaneer as basically as a conduit, as a median to get Raw Phil down. But as far as we know, and now that DSP thinks he has this direct line and he thinks he has some protection and some leverage, who's to say he'll go after anybody? But I also wonder, was he actually trying to fuck over Kino Casino? Was he trying to play both sides? He gets his attention from Kino Casino and whatnot by giving them a bunch of bullshit that those guys already know about. I say that because PPP, or Triple P as I like to call him, and Andy have been around for a long time. A long time. They've seen a lot of fuckery. They were there with the alt-right versus the skeptics. Fucking what was that? What was that shit? Internet blood sports. This is, what is it called? This is, oh fuck, I forgot what that one convention they were trying to do, where like a certain demographic of the political sphere could talk about whatever they wanted without being directly challenged by anything else. Kilroy. They were involved with all that stuff, so all these tactics are old. The Quartering picked up most of these tactics from there. Hence the reason why he used a direct contact and in his reporting. I mean, yeah, he did actually report them through email or whatever, but he also was speaking to someone. That person, I'm being told, got eliminated, though. They've been fired because obviously they were doing something they shouldn't have been doing. So theoretically, by DSP's own notion, if by just being in the parameters of certain people, you're involved in what they're doing, guilt by association, if you will, then DSP is just as guilty, which means DSP should be subject to the TOS of YouTube by false flagging. And I can say that because anything that you do on YouTube and Twitch, or anything you do off of YouTube and Twitch, I should say, is a representation of what those basic companies are. Let's reword that. How you represent yourself off of the platform can directly affect you when you're on the platform. So if you're acting like an asshole on Twitter and you are someone of any type of repute on YouTube, you could be subjected to some stuff. It's like that on Twitch too. Don't know about Kick. If that's the case, DSP was breaking TOS on YouTube, on Twitter, and those direct acts got someone taken off of YouTube's platform in a false sort of way, because the person who quote unquote should have gone down didn't. That's strange. That's strange that that's not a thing, that there's no correction to that. Now, of course, like I said, Raw Phil can appeal, and if he gets back into play, then it's whatever. But it would probably, and I think a lot of people are right when they say this, it's probably best to just go ahead and retire the channel, move on to other platforms, or start a brand new channel anew, and so on and so forth. But keep that up there as a reminder of what DSP is and how he is. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the long-term ramifications of all this. Because now, DSP is known as a false flagger, which he always was. And despite what you guys may think about what Raw Phil does, and is it really transformative? Is it really this? Is it really that? if those people really wanted to go and watch DSP, they would. And all of the LARPing about, I sent $100 to fucking Raw Phil, but I thought it was you. Stop. When Keemstar did it, it was bullshit. It was bait. When he did the redirect and he sent Raw Phil like $100 or some bullshit, all that shit was a LARP. All that shit was to get DSP pissed off. If you really want to find DSP's dead ass channel, you can find it. It is what it is. So those aren't excuses. And those certainly were never excuses, because I would assume DSP has used those before and they didn't go anywhere. There's a reason for that. So DSP did what most cowards do. He lied, and now he's put all this stuff into play. Now the gloves are off for certain people. Now certain people want to make things incredibly uncomfortable. So if DSP thought he was in peril before, he's about to do that now. Unfortunately, the money buff is gone. Nobody on YouTube or Twitch or Kick really gives a shit and whatnot. At least not in such of a way that they will actively help him.
I'm looking, nothing at all. You said you gave Raw's info to the YouTube rep. No, I gave screenshots of everything. So I said, so here's where the guy is bragging about freezing my chat. This is in a YouTube restreamer's channel. Here he is. That's because they have to understand the context of who the guy is and what he's doing. Here it is, you know. What did you think I was going to do? Not provide the evidence? I need to get my stream chat unfrozen. I don't know what else to say. Like, here, make a new email to this. Tough shit. I don't know what else to say. You created the situation. The situation had to be resolved. It got resolved. That's the end of it. What else do you want from me? I mean, nothing. The bottom line is, if my stream chat was never frozen for 2 weeks, none of this probably would have happened, right? None of it. So you know who the root cause is, and you know who to fucking blame, and it ain't me. I'm the guy who literally just sits here and you harass me. I'm not the one. The one is the person who fucked with my livelihood. Go bother him. Say, why'd you fuck with Phil? Now look at what happened. Go fuck with him. He's the one who did it. Period. I don't want to hear none of your shit. I don't want to hear any of your weird justifications, because the truth is, all you want to say is Phil's in the wrong. Just like every single thing I've ever done in my life, it's always in the wrong. Well, I don't give a fuck about your opinion, because it doesn't matter. All I'm going to do is stream and continue to do my stuff, and you're just going to sit there and stew and be angry about everything in your life because it's miserable. I didn't create your miserable life. I didn't. You did. So now it's your job to get out of your miserable situation and find something else to enjoy, and it's my job to just sit here and entertain my audience in a positive way. Period. End of story. There's nothing I need to justify to you, because it has nothing to do with you. You're just so full of shit. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're mentally challenged. I'm done with you. Goodbye. Good night. Good luck. Fuck off. Okay. Done. Now we do shout outs, and then we could finish the finale of the show and we can get to Assassin's Creed. Okay? Cool. Because people are so upset. Did I miss anything? Am I caught up on everything? We had the chat freezing. That guy got fucked. We had, I guess, Raw Phil's channel on YouTube got banned, and then my moderator lost his fucking mind, so I got rid of him. And now you're all yelling at me even though I have nothing to do with anything, and I'm going to stream Assassin's Creed. Are we caught up? Have I sufficiently caught up? He got banned from Kick too? So now you're angry at me for that? What the fuck? I'm literally sitting here with you on the podcast. And you're going to blame me for that one too, huh? Fuck this. I don't care. I really don't give a fuck. I don't. You know? People are always going to say, literally you guys are always going to say I did everything, even though I didn't. So I don't give a fuck. I just don't. The thing is, you make me numb to it. Like, it's at one point, it's like, okay, maybe I need to prove my innocence. Like, wait a minute. It doesn't matter if I prove my innocence. They still say I'm guilty, so who gives a fuck? So I don't care. All right? I don't. I really don't fucking care. I have nothing to do with any of it, but you'll never believe me anyway, so fuck off. Okay, we're done.
And now he's got this even a larger hornet's nest, really, it's a pool of piranhas that are now just circling, waiting for him to be lowered into the pond or the lake or the river daily to get eaten up. And what was this all for? Like, really, what was this all for? So you could go ahead and have this almost disturbing fucking codependency on your chat because you can't do shit without them? You need them for money. You need them for moral support. You need them for hand holding. You need them for entertainment. That's the real takeaway of DSP's chat. He needs to be entertained, because DSP is not an entertainer. He never was, but he needs the chat to entertain him. He needs him to, interestingly enough, he needs them to keep him stimulated to get through his day. That's why he has this weird, unhealthy relationship with that over the past month or so.
Listen to these people. Will you take the casino down soon? Will you take down Doody? No. I didn't take anyone down to begin with. All I did was report a freezing chat. That was it. I'm not taking anyone down. And like I said, there's a difference. Here's the thing. People can be nasty to me as much as they want, and later on down the line, it's my prerogative. If I feel like someone went too far and it was actually harmful enough to my reputation or business that I want to go after them legally for it, right? That's what it would be. So, you know, I always have that option in the future, but am I going to do it right now? I have no plans. No, I just want to stream. I want to stream and make gameplay content and chill vibe content with you guys, you know, podcasting. That's it. That's what I want to do with my time. So don't freeze my chat. Don't take away that ability. I won't have to waste my time contacting YouTube about it, and then we can all be happy.
And now, what are you going to do? Go on a massive ban spree? And then everybody knows that you're in the little kick program over there where you get paid by all those, by, you know, the amount of viewers you have. But that doesn't matter because DSP dual streams, that paycheck is cut in half. Some people think it may even be cut even deeper than that. So he's literally making pennies on the dollar on kick, and he can't control it. So that really doesn't help. And then what are you going to do? Keep banning people on YouTube? All he's doing is expanding the market. Here's what in closing, this is what I was actually hoping for. I was hoping that he would just come out and admit it. You did this to Tevin all them years ago, right? And pretty much he did the exact same thing that he did Tevin, right? The platform is different, but he did the exact same thing. And he did it damn near in the exact same way, if I had to guess. He should have just owned it. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, Raw Phil was, I didn't like what Raw Phil was doing. He fucked with me and I shut his ass down. That's what he should have said. He should have owned that shit. He should have owned it. As a matter of fact, he should have came out and said, oh yeah, remember Tevin? And they called me Tex and what was that? Bill Purnell? Yeah, I went ahead and got them too all those years ago. And what? He should have said all that. That's what he did. It's true. He did do all those things. He might as well own up to it. But a coward being a coward, he won't. So now it's just going to linger all over his head, right? Because that's how you like it. All over his head. He's going to linger with this bullshit. And now no one's going to ever want to touch him outside of the bullshit because no one likes false flaggers. And even if you thought he was justified in going after Raw Phil, you're probably still going to say, well, you probably still should have done it. Because at the end of the day, Raw Phil was not a deficit to him. At the end of the day, Raw Phil existed all on his own. If people really wanted to go to DSP, they would. Raw Phil was not taking away from the quote unquote product. The original product is trash. The original product was already banning people and exiling them from his little area anyway, and they wanted a place to go. End of story. DSP wasn't subjective to the market, he created it. DSP wasn't dealing with the problem, he created it. Now, with that being said, what happens next? What happens next? Well, to be honest with you, there's a bunch of different parties who are thinking about a bunch of different things. I'm not privy to those things. So, womp womp, womp womp. In any case though, to what little I do know, wasn't worth it, Phil. Summer ain't even over yet. It wasn't worth it, boy. You got a lot of things that you need to, you've got a lot of balls in the air that you're juggling, and they're already tumbling around you and shit. Money's already lightening up and whatnot. You got a lot of stuff that's coming due and whatever, and you let it slip that you were at some type of doctor's appointment or something on Wednesday, which is the reason why you allegedly couldn't handle this situation. I don't know, Phil. Sounds like there's failing health going on in that house. Bills are starting to stack up. There's a fantastic theory and whatnot that I was privy to yesterday, that the reason why you're buying more of the Japanese cards is because the American cards are becoming far too expensive for you. So you want to go with the cheaper cards instead, even though I'm of the horseshoe theory that you're going to try to grab the rare Japanese cards first and then double back to try to get the American ones later. Semantics. There's going to be, if that whole rare candy situation didn't happen, we would have actually gotten some proof on that, but it is what it is. Information is currency, and not everybody understands that. In any case, it's not going to be, this isn't going to be fun for you, Phil. If you thought things were uncomfortable before, things are going to be even more uncomfortable later on. All over a chat. You could have just gone to Twitch. You literally could have gone to Twitch. This right here is the machinima situation all over again. Instead of you acting up like a bitch, all you had to do was be like, you know what? I'm gonna stream on Twitch for a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and stream on 3 platforms for a little while. So what? That's all you had to do. So you could have kept your dying little YouTube audience. The kick chat's still gonna kick your back in, no pun intended, and then you could have just gone to Twitch. You're gonna end up going there anyway. Now you're gonna have Kino Casino on this. You're gonna have Asmongold on this. You're gonna have all these people who try to basically big up you and say, oh well, yeah, you know, it's kind of messed up that they do that to you, you know, Phil, or you know, that's kind of wrong and shit. But then once they hear what you did, they're gonna be like, well, even though I may not have agreed what, you know, they were doing to Phil, he shouldn't have flagged them. They're gonna that's easily what the narrative is gonna get turned into, because no one likes a flagger. No one likes flaggets. Gotta tell you, Phil, wasn't worth it, bro. I understand you're an emotional bitch, but that doesn't mean you had to act like one. I get it, but some restraint would have probably been helpful for you in this particular situation. But fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, consistency is important, and that's what you do, so continue to do so. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I may insert some clips in here, kind of the stand with on some of these points or whatnot. If you haven't had a chance to actually watch any of this yet, hit up Raw Phil. He's on Rumble, he's on Twitch. You can find his VOD. You can check that out. I'm sure there are going to be a bunch of people that are going to have the edits out soon. And this is like anything else. Like, this is probably the most buzz that's been. This has probably been the biggest shakeup that's gone on in quite a while. But it'll pass just like anything else. But what DSP has done over the span of the last week, he will pay for. He's gonna pay for that dearly. He kind of has to be honest. What did DSP say? Hey, did you really expect me to let this slide? Did you really think I was gonna let this stand? That's a two-way street. That's a two-way street. And there's a lot of people who were very comfortable not trolling you directly and just watching Raw Phil and just enjoying people in the chat that you have now gone ahead and disrupted. And they're gonna have something to say about that. Good luck with handling that and however which way you decide to do it. In any case, like I said, I'll do an actual reaction to all this later. But I appreciate you guys hearing me out on that. That's just my kind of initial thoughts. Silly shit all around. It wasn't worth it. I'll just tell you that. It wasn't worth it. And then, like I said, he should have just, not that he's much of a man anyway, he should have just owned it. He should have just gone straight into straight supervillain shit and be like, you know what? Fuck Raw Phil. Fuck Kevin. Fuck Duty. Fuck all the detractors, trolls, hater, critics, and all their crew too. And if you down with any of them guys, fuck you too. And if you don't fucking don't like Darkside Phil, DSP Gaming, Phil Burnell, Dark Geppetto, then fuck you too. And for YouTube and fucking Kick, who let this shit go, and for Twitch and for Rumble, who let this go, fuck you too. He should have just done the Gouty version and hit him up. That's what he should have did. He should have owned that shit. He should have owned it. Straight the fuck up. And he should have called LTG the N-word too while he was at it. He should just own that shit. Instead, he want to be the coward. He want to be the victim because it's his nature. And no one's going to believe that. Now you're pathetic. I mean, you're always pathetic, but now you're just even more pathetic. PvP didn't teach you nothing? Andy didn't teach you nothing? If you're going to be the bad guy, you got to go all the way in it. There is no such thing as halfway crook. You either in or you're out. You can't be bacon and pork belly. You got to pick one or the other. I mean, well, I guess theoretically you could be both. I guess you could be both. But anyway, you got to pick one. And that's what makes all this shit really even more pathetic. Losing Raw Phil temporarily sucks. But DSP not willing to stand hoof on hoof and admit that he did it is just disappointing. That's all. It's just disappointing. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting a blowjob from Officer Sanders. It was just, you just look at her and you just feel, you just feel sad for her. You know what I'm saying? It's not my fault. It's your fault. And I'm not even mad at you. I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, this has been I'll name this. This has been I'll name this segment later. GTG Spits That Agrees. Take care of yourself, people. Have a good weekend. Oh boy, have a good weekend. And don't forget, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 came out for PS5 and PS4 and whatnot. So if you're interested in something like that, check it out. All right, I'm out of here. Later, people. Later, people.